Thanks for joining the session. So I'm Manoj Mittal and going to present the SharePoint framework series. So, okay, shall we test? So, am I audible to everyone? So just quickly reply on the chat. You will see might be some people is pinging. Okay, great. So my screen is also visible. Okay, yeah, thanks. Sure. So just a one request: if you are not talking, just be on mute. This session is going to record for the future point of view. So we or like other people can just take that advantage from these sessions. So this is going to take the SharePoint framework webinar series. So this is just a part of one. So here we are I'll just give the introductions of the SharePoint, how to set up the development environment end to end, not on the local environment, even for the production development environment also, what are the things we required. We are going to talk here. And just one more basic announcement is here. This session is organized for 90 minutes. So I have some personal works I need to leave hard stop after 60 minutes. So like at 7 o'clock I need to leave. So we'll take it like this webinar for 50 minutes and last 5 to 10 minutes we'll take it for the questions. Or other, if we don't get a time, you guys can just shoot out the mail to me or just ask on our web chat forum. So just take it there. Okay. Let's get started here. So 1 minute. Yeah. So this is a little bit introduction about me. I'm Manoj Mittal, working as a technical architect in the Mindtree Limited in Bangalore based. So I'm a C# Corner MVP. A couple of more certifications I did. This is my blog sites here. I have a YouTube channel, so I keep uploading the videos up to the trending technologies what we are working respective to works. I'm on the Twitter, LinkedIn, and C# Corner. You can find all the articles, videos on the C# Corner website. So this is the link of the C# Corner. I'm pretty much active on the C# Corner, and you can follow and get the updates once you subscribe me here. Okay. What happened? My screen is not moving. Yep. So this is the agenda for today. So we are going to talk about first what is and why is SPFx we are using nowadays and what is the requirement. Still we have a lots of development tool chain from the past 2000 SharePoint 2013 we are using, and as going forward a lot of things, and why SPFx is so much important nowadays. And what is the development tool chain? So development tool chain comparison means we are going to talk about what are the tool exist earlier when we are doing the server side programming, and when we move to the SPFx and what is required as compared to those. So one-to-one comparison, high level we'll take a look, and how to set up a development environment. So that also we'll take a look, and how we can what are the local host, workbench, CDN activities. So client-side web parts with a property pane. Here I will give the high level just a demo. So what is the client-side web parts, how to build it, how to make, and what are the property panes. So I'll take a separate sessions dedicated to the property panes. It's a itself a very huge topic on the property pane, what else we can do. And the next one is provisions of the SharePoint site assets. So as we are doing in the server side programming or the farm solutions, we always have a content type, site columns and list. We are using the different ways to provision those contents. Some people is using the PowerShell, some is using the features, some is using XML file using the features provisioning. So here using SPFx also how we can use. So I'm doubt whether I will cover this topic today. So as the time permit will take. So the last one is the CDN, that is a content delivery network, and what is the content delivery network and what the options and why we are going to use in this webinar across the SPFx. We'll discuss that one. Okay. So first we'll take, so just bear with me, this entire SPFx webinar is easily divided into the 2 or 3 categories. I'll just take hardly 10 to 50, maximum 10 minutes, go to the theory. After that, we'll directly jump to the demos and start working. So this is not only for the developer for this webinar. So whoever's on the management sides and just doing the proposals and all those things. So it will help to those guys also. What are the things you need to consider while using the SPFx? Okay, so if we talk about the journey of the SharePoint, so it started with the SharePoint 2003. basically. So once it with a .NET 2.0 framework, and the main focus was on the server side API. That was the full trust, and one of the biggest challenge we faced at time, it's a manual deployment activity. Then moved to the SharePoint 2007. So the WSS 3.0 introduced, and the feature deployment concepts came into the pictures using the Visual Studio, how we can create the features and how we can deploy. Then moved to the SharePoint 2010. So in that versions, the quite vast architecture changed by the Microsoft. They come up with the sandbox solutions. CSOMs they introduce here, client-side object model. And then SharePoint 2013 and SharePoint Online came into the picture. So here they enhanced the CSOM, that is the client-side object model. And the major investment was on the add-ins. That was the provided hosted add-ins, SharePoint hosted and the cloud hosted. But later they removed the cloud hosted and then provided hosted and SharePoint hosted only survives. So the last now, it's like before SPFx, SharePoint 2013 and injections. When the people start working on the SharePoint Online and SharePoint 2013, they are going away with the farm-based solutions and moving to the client-side approach. So how they start using the JavaScript injections, they start using if they need to put the branding into their websites. So if they are using the on-premises or using the online. So that was heavily started in the industry when we are building the project. So after that, like how the SPFx can we can achieve using all such things. SPFx is pretty much capable, having a lot of capabilities nowadays. We can do whatever we want. We can create the branding using the extensions. We can create a web parts there. If we need to integrate with the outside world, we can create our own. We can host on the same domain or other domain with a different web API, consume those web API into SPFx. So pretty much all the things we can achieve what was there on the SharePoint 2013 or the on-premises environment. Okay, so why SPFx? So we'll just go through quickly on that, not required. So moving to that one, the development tool chain comparisons. So here we are looking when we are working on the farm-based solution. So these are the component. Basically, we use the .NET frameworks. We use NuGet packages for downloading the packages and the references in our solutions. Visual Studio as a development tool. C# as a coding language, and MS Build to build the package. So if we talk about SPFx, so it has a comparison. Instead of the .NET framework, we have a Node.js. It's a local JavaScript runtime engines. Instead of the NuGet, we are using the NPM. So it's also used for the same the package and the dependency management, how we use the NuGet package. And for the Visual Studio point of view, here we are just using there's a lot of open source tool. The one is like the Visual Studio Code. So it's Microsoft tool people is using, otherwise WebStorms and a lot of other tools exist. Okay, Yeoman is just come for the scaffoldings of all the components coming. Then the programming language point of view, instead of C# is replaced with a TypeScript. So it's an open source programming language. So it's like superset of the JavaScripts and just work like how the classes. If the people are familiar with the C#, so they can easily learn and just start writing the code here. Also, like the same class structures is there, interfaces, all such things. So build purpose here we are using the Gulp. So Gulp help us to build the packages and help for the deployment. So these are the tools basically we are using for the development tool chain into the SPFx. Okay, so now the questions come: what we need to focus while working on the SPFx? There are a lot of tools. Is there? Is it really required to learn all? The answer is no. So you should just only familiar with the NPM and the TypeScript. It's more than sufficient. And other is just like a tool. Node.js you can install and forget about what is that. Yeoman is also Gulp and the Webpack. All these just you can install and forget. Only focus on the NPM and the TypeScript and some Gulp command for packaging purpose. Okay, so these are the few or most important commands basically just used whenever we are building the SPFx solutions. So we're talking about the Gulp serve. So Gulp serve is basically we use when we are testing our component on the locally, on the workbench, or on either on the local host, or if we have a SharePoint URL, there we can use the workbench. So workbench is just a developer design surface that enable you to quickly preview the test the web part without deploying into the actual environment, or in the web catalogs where you are deploying your control or wherever, you can just test it locally. For that purpose, gulp serve. So gulp build. So so all these commands create the respective folders when we run these commands. When you have creating the SPFx solutions, entire frameworks come and start running this command itself creates different folders into the project and just put some different files accordingly. If you're talking about the gulp build, so it just take SCCS, that is just a CSS files, and the TS files into the necessary CS and JS files, and then create a folder, the lib, lib, and the temp, and place the files there. Bundle, if you use the gulp bundle, so this is also like bundling for all the JS files, and just use the folder DST. So it's created on a runtime only. When we use the gulp clean, it just delete all the folders also what is created by these commands. Then finally is the gulp package hyphen solution. So it's create a package for us, that is .sppkg, and it exists under the SharePoint hyphen solution folder. So these folders also created at runtime. Okay, moving forward. So what we need to start work on the SharePoint framework development. So only the Visual Studio Code is sufficient with the O365 subscriptions. Now let's start with a demo about those theories now. So let me get that one. Okay, so this is my just a modern site. It's a communication sites what I created here. So what I'm going to do, I'll just, okay, before that I have, so when we are going to set up our environment, so what is the things is required? As is the first webinar, I'll just give the high level introductions here also. You need to install the Node.js. So here Node.js provide the quite latest versions, is 9 point something is in the market. They have released the stable versions. So but show SharePoint framework point of view, 3.10.10, I think this I will showcase what I installed here, so that you can download and install the Node.js. You can install the npm install -g, that is globally the Yeoman and the gulp you can install using this command. And then the last one is required, you can install the Microsoft SharePoint generator. So this is also quite straightforward, npm install -g at that Microsoft/generator-SharePoint. So all these what the commands is there. I will write an article on the C# and share the detail with you guys. No need to just download or take any screenshot here. So you'll get all the details with all the demos, webinars, what the slide I'm showing, and what the content here on my doc file. I'll put everything into the yeah, it's no need to share the doc file. I will just write it on the C# corner article. So there you can get all the details. In the next coming 1 or 2 days, I will share those things. Okay. So once these commands is you done, so the next command is comes. We need to enable the catalog. So why is the catalog is required when we are creating our SharePoint solution package? So that package we need to deploy somewhere. So there's a two-way. We can use the app store, which is exist only the one site collection on the tenant level. There we can push all the package files and we can use in other site collections. Or there's a new provision recently Microsoft has launched almost 2 to 3 months back. So there is a provisioning we can create the catalog within a site collection itself. So this is the command. So it's quite simple. Just go to the SharePoint Online Management Shell, connect with our SPO services with our tenant, and just give the URL, which is your site collections, and just run this command add SPO site collection app catalog. So once you run this command, you will get the interface like that. Let me go there. Site content. So the app for SharePoint come for you. Now the questions comes for a couple of folks ask, like we already have a developer sites is having that one catalog, and we are used to deploy our when we are creating the provided hosted or SharePoint hosted app into that catalog itself. But that is different. That's come as an app in testing. And here we have an app for SharePoint developer sites. What we have an app in testing that doesn't allow SharePoint framework package files we can push there. We need to create the app catalog within a site collections. We need to use that one for the deployment purpose. Okay, so here. So now here, instead of getting more time, let's start the demo quickly. We already crossed the 17 minutes. So okay, so this is just a Node.js command prompt window I opened. So I will. So it's just a basic. I have installed the npm Node.js and the gulp and Yeoman and the Microsoft SharePoint generation. That is quite straightforward. Just go to the link, download and run it. So I will show before that what version I have. So it will be easy. I just click Node.js -v. 1 minute. Okay. Yeah. So it's showing the npm version. I have 3.10.10. So similarly, the node also I have. I think node-1 Node.js space -v. Node command from correct. I think it's okay. Leave it. Okay. So we'll start that one. So what I'm going to create a one folder. So this is just my C drive temp folder and SPFx. I'll show here. In that only I'll create one more folders and start creating the project. So md SPFx 03. This is my folder name. cd SPFx 03. So I move into that particular folder. So just we need to run the Yeoman command u@Microsoft SharePoint. Okay, so it just asks what's the name. Okay, yes, the solution's name. Here we can give the demo SPFx. Demo SPFx 03. This is my solution name I'm giving here. So I'm going to use the description. SharePoint Online. Just want to deploy current folder. Yes. So this is just a basic. All the steps it's the. So here we don't want to deploy across the site collections. Just let it know. So what you are going to deploy here, it asks the web parts or the extensions. I'm going to use the web part. Extensions we'll use in the later demos. Demo SPFx 03 web part. Descriptions I'll use the same. So I'm using the no JavaScript framework. This is just initial. So in later webinar we'll use the React, and I just showcase those component, how to create the React component, then integrate with SPFx. So these are just basic steps. It's going to create a SharePoint framework for me. So it creates. So this is the one way of creating, and the second way, like you can open directly the Visual Studio Code and just go to. I'll open that one and showcase. There is one more options we can use. This activity is not required. The question is like, is it required for every solutions? Not really required for every solutions. That depend how logically you are bundling your solution. So if we talk about, if we look the past also, when we are talking about the farm solutions, so there also we are consolidating, doing the same thing. Here also we can create the one package. In that, under the one package only, we can logically add the multiple web parts. So that way we can use. It's not really required for each web parts. We need to do all these activities. Okay, welcome back. So the next I was just showing that one. This is the Visual Studio Code. If you go to the view, here is just like an integrated terminal. So it's also gave the same interface what we are getting with the Node.js. Here also we can run all the commands. So let it complete from their sides. So later rest of the command, what the gulp command, we have to build the package bundle and the deployment we'll use here. So it will not take more than a couple of more seconds, and will it complete soon? It should be. Okay, once in the meantime, so after that, once the solutions will ready, we'll open that particular folder into the Visual Studio Code, and we'll build that solutions using the gulp serve and run it on the local host. And the same workbench we'll use on the SharePoint Online, and then use the same as is solutions and deploy into the app catalog, and try on those 3 ways how it's work. Okay, it's creating entire solutions for me with all the packages file. So let it take time. If anyone have any questions, we have a couple of seconds. Unless it's complete, we can take those questions. So
Manoj, one second.
yes, please.
How did you arrive at this window actually? Because I can see NPM actually. Is it a NPM package manager? Because I'm not worked on it.
Yes. So you can install those npm and the Node.js. That is straightforward. So those URLs as I showcase, I will place this in the C# corner article. You can take that one and install that one, and that particular version which is supported, not the latest one. So it will just give you the command prompt window here, like it's there, Node.js command prompt. It will come like that.
Okay. So once you are in this, and you have set of commands which will be executing, right?
Yeah, straight. So once you install this one, so you need to install the say Yeoman and gulp, and after that is really required this SharePoint generator. So these are the 2 commands is really required. Once you're done with these 2 commands, then you can open this npm command prompt, Node.js command prompt, and just start using.
Okay. So you would be sharing that Word document also, right, with us?
I will put onto the C# corner. I will write an article with detailed descriptions, so it will be available to all, and put it that link in our WhatsApp group, and other details you can get it from there.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Manoj.
Okay, welcome. See,
Hi, Manoj.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just I have a doubt actually. I have 2 accounts, so whenever I deploy the solutions, it initially take that one account. But I want to deploy in another account. How to change that URL?
URL, you are saying the collection URL?
No, actually, so initially I am using the 2 set of accounts actually. One is for business, another one is for personal. So whenever I try to deploy the solution, it directly go to my business account only, not in my personal. So that's why I'm asking how to change that account.
No, this is nothing like account, right? So like if you have 2 accounts, it means you are logging into the same tenant or different tenant. So that is also doesn't matter if you have 2 different tenant or one, and you have 2 account associated with the one tenant. So at the end, it's creating the one SPFx package file. So that package files we can take and put it on the other one.
Okay.
And if you want to take, and one.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing, like, yeah, please be on mute. I will do a lot of disturbances coming there. So the second thing, like if you need to place your entire code structure from the one place to another place, so this code structure itself come up with a lot of MBs files, it's 100 or 200 MB the package is going to create, because we have a lot of node underscore module. If you see, So it's create a lot of modules. It's why it's taking a lot of time. I will showcase those modules. So once we are placing from one environment to another environment, so only the solution structure is required. It has a package files which is having installable. Once you put and open into the command prompt, it again just to make the separate package for you for the development purpose. And for the production purpose, all these things is not required. Only the SPF, but the SharePoint framework package files. And if you have enabled the CDN, only that is more than sufficient.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you so much.
Okay, welcome. So one more question was there, like what the separate app catalog is required. Let's see what was the actual question. If anybody was there, can you speak out that question? What is the benefit of, okay, the question was, what is the benefit of creating the separate app catalog instead of using the developer side? See, there is, that's depend on your organization. It's such, say if you're using the common app catalog, then it will be dedicated to all the site. If you have a multiple site collections, it's like modern sites, you have a team sites, communication sites, or any classic sites you are using. So for them, everything will be going to the one app catalog. That is come as on a tenant level as a separate site collections. So that is like if you are working on a different environment, you have a development environment, QA environment, production environment. Everywhere we need the separate tenant for doing all such things. So that is, if I feel personally, it's a disadvantage of creating the common app catalog. If we usually if we have a one because SPFx we are going to work only on the one particular site collection, create there only one app catalog and push it there. If you are working on the different site collection for the testing purpose or the staging purpose, we can create there also the app catalog and push our solution files or package files there only. So it's always better for the cost saving point of view also. Okay, so here I'm going, let me close it, that one. So here's the command. We need to, if you need to open into the Visual Studio Code, it's a quite simple code space start. So it will open the entire folder structure into the Visual Studio Code. And you can see the entire folder structures is coming, all the configuration files. And this I was talking about quite heavy and huge modules what they added there. So and this is the main file what we are going to work. Under the source we have a web part, demo SPFx web part. We can add the multiple web part here and we can use. So this is the main, the TS files we have, CSS files, and the web manifest manifest files we have. Okay, instead of doing anything here, let me close it. Those are the files, and click on the view integrated terminal. So I'll just use those gulp command here. The first gulp clean. As such, nothing will be, so it's fine. So it's clean. I'm going to use the gulp build. So it will build. It will help to build the solution. You will see here only it will create the some more folder. LIB folder came, temp folder came. Earlier it was not there. And the gulp bundle. So it will bundle all the JS file for me and put into the DST folder. It will create one more DST folder for us. Okay, see DIST folder also came here. So now finally is the gulp package hyphen solution. This recording of this webinar will be on the YouTube and the C# corner both. So we'll share the link of the recording. So till here we did the build, bundle, and the packages of all those. And now if you need to run this locally, so the simple is gulp serve. So this will open the Chrome with a local workbench. Yep. So it's coming here. So this is the web part demo SPFx web parts coming with a default or the default setting. So if you see here, so this is all are working. So how, let's just put the couple of seconds here. What is this control? This control is built with basically the React, and what the React control it's building, it's rendering within the SPFx control, and this React component is using their own virtual DOM. So basically, when we are creating any web applications, there is a DOM concept where all our the HTMLs and everything is we can get into the browsers, and React create their own virtual DOM on top of that particular DOM, and all these operations is happening because of that. When we are doing here the runtime, it's going to update. Okay, so I'll use, this is the one way of the workbench, to use the workbench.html. But the disadvantage, if we are testing here and we need the SharePoint context data from the SharePoint, we can't take. So if we need the SharePoint context, so what we can do here, I'll take the SharePoint URL. I'll just type underscore layout hyphen workbench dot SPFx. So it will also open the same thing, but within the SharePoint look and feel. So here you can see this workbench. I'll get my control from here. It is. We have demo SPFx. Okay, so this controls. So here we'll get the disadvantage if we are working within a SharePoint context. We can get from the header, from the URL, and start working on it. Okay. So this is the way how we can use the local workbench. Now I'll take this package file and push into the catalog file. So here is my catalog file. Let me take a duplicate for this site. So here I go site content. Here is my catalog. So before that, so let me stop it. Control C. Yes. Okay. So I'll go to this catalog, app for SharePoint, click on the upload. I'll choose the path where my solution file exists. So I created the folder SPFx03. Here is the SharePoint folder created at runtime, solutions, and we have this s.sppkg package file. Take this one, click OK. Okay, so this is the things here. It's coming like what we are using the JS and CSS image file, the static files is called. So those files basically it suggests to put into the CDN. That can be the app catalog, which is used by the O365 public CDN that will be resides in our app catalog. Or second way, we can use the Azure. So I will showcase that one. We can create the blob storage container and give the path, so all those files will move there and we can use in our SPFx. Third one, we can use the SharePoint library itself, but SharePoint library in that case will work as a storage. It will not get the benefit CDN. So, but in that case, as of now, it's just taking from the local host. When we are deploying this web part and using in the SharePoint page, we need to run the gulp serve. So we'll just deploy. So this is my control. So let me go and add this control. I'll go there, edit. This is old one. Let me delete. I'm going to click on add. So I'm going to add. Here is our control con. That is 1 minute. This is D. It started with a D. Let me publish this as I'm taking the old. Or let me start the gulp serve also parallel. It is just for rendering purpose. Click the edit. No need to try it. Log out. It should work. Okay, maybe. So let me refresh it. It's not refreshed here. Control F5. The site catalog we have. Okay, sorry, this came here. So before using it, we need to edit this control first into the catalog. I'm directly doing it's not a yeah, site content. So click on add an app. Exit the okay, it's fine. So we have demo SPFx 03 client side web part. So here it's going to add my web. Yeah, it's adding here demo SPFx 03. Let it add. Once it's added, we can go and use in our web pages this control. So it will take a couple of seconds to add here. So it's just installing this package files, what we uploaded into the app catalog. Just going to refer in my site content as a app, and then we can use in the particular pages wherever we require within this particular site collection. It will take a couple of more seconds to saying we are reading your app. Okay. Okay, it's done. So I'll move to the our home page. Edit the deploy control, moving there. Click on plus icon. So here we can find our control. So this control is available within our site collection also. Here we can do the same activity, but the still like we are running the gulp serve. Because of that, it's rendering those content over the JS CSS content. It's just taking from the local host, not from the actual CDN or from the SharePoint site. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just what we can we can enable the CDN here and do the necessary configuration so that the gulp serve is not required every time to test. We'll do that configuration. So I'm going to stop it. English. Okay. So for the CDN purpose, so 1 minute. Yeah. So for the CDN purpose, we need to always taken care like this command can execute by only the tenant administrator. If the client or someone has shared the site collections to work, so we can't enable the CDN or we can't enable the app catalog. So those commands will always be run by tenant administrator only. So I'm taking this command. This is my tenant URL. Going there, moving to the SharePoint online management cell. Just put it there, connecting. So I'll type my credential on Microsoft.com. Password. Okay, it's connected. Now we need to run one more command to enable the CDN. So we can disable also CDN using the same command. Just need one more attribute at the end, -enable true, -enable false. So I'm going to enable the CDN. Before that, I will just show how this path is coming. 1 minute. Let me go back here. Is it stop? to the function as well. If you see those, yes, guys, please be on mute who is not talking. There's a lot of disturbances coming here. So here, if you see this particular web part, so it's coming from the local host. So here in the network, you see what the JS and CSS is going to talk with this particular web part. You can see it's talking with a local host 4321. So once we enable the CDN, it should not talk with a local host. It currently we are going to enable the CDN on the O365. Now it will change the local host from the O365 CDN, public CDN. So that is the thing. I'm going to close here quickly. Moving to the section, I'll just take this command to enable the CDN. So this is the command. Okay. Yes, I want to enable it. Yes. So it's enable the CDN for me here. So what I will do, I'll just stop the cursor command. Control C. Wait a minute. Okay, and I'll open this. Let me control F5. We'll see whether it's work. Otherwise, I'll open in different browser and see. Okay, there's a problem exists. It's fine. So still taking with the local host, and we have stopped the Gulf server. Okay, that's fine. No problem. Correct it. So this is the one important thing. I'll show you that one. So this is the client side's assets. So it should be true when we are using the CDN. So if this attribute is responsible to push all the static content into the CDN. Okay. So now no need to build and deploy any solutions again. We'll take it. So it's taking from the cache. So I'll open into the incognito mode. Just try it again. Just type my credential. Take the password. Okay. So if you're using the CDN, one more thing here. So I'm just intentionally showing this error, how this errors will come. So we have enabled the CDN, and this activities also exists client true. So once we are creating the and bundling the package and solutions, we need to use the --ship command. So that is for the production purpose. So let me go there. So here we have, or yeah, here only we can run curl clean. So I'm in a particular folder itself. I can run from here or from the Visual Studio, both the sides. So curl build. After that, we'll use the curl bundle --ship. Curl bundle --ship. Now after that, the last command curl package --solution --zip. It will create a package file for me. Curl package solution --ship. So okay, all done. So we are ready with this package files. We'll go there again and upload this changed package file. We'll see here only it will show what it's pointing. Once we are uploading, earlier it was showing the local host, all the things were pointing. Now it's pointing to the SharePoint online instead of local host. So I clicked on deploy. So we can go and check in the minor version to the major one. Okay, so it's done. I'll go to the coordinator mode. I'll edit this one and delete this control and add the new control. So this is not required. Yes. So I will go and just take out control. This is control. Still taking time. It shouldn't. It should come early. So in the meantime, if I click the Control F12, here if I type CDN and refresh it, changes reload. This file is gone. And again. Okay, so this control is coming. Now you can see there is a not required. The gulp serve need to run to use this particular control. It's pointing to the public CDN. So the public CDN from where it's taking, where we put it the solution file into the app catalog, it's pointing to that particular location. So this is the way how we can enable the CDN on the O365 and we can leverage our control. Okay, so this was the one option. Let me publish it. Now the next options I will show how to use the Azure for the CDN purpose. So let me close it. Okay. So for the Azure purpose, let me log into the Azure portal first. Okay, so okay. So this is my Azure portal. So for configure to the Azure portal as Azure blob storage as a CDN, what we need to do, we need to create the blob. We need to create a container. That container will take the content. Guys, please be on mute here. So we need to create the blob storage, and within the blob storage, we need to put the container. And after that, we need to create a CDN profile. And then CDN profile will point my blob storage. So we'll quickly take a look at one, how we can use that feature also. I clicked on storage. Here is the storage account. I'll give any name here, SPFx. SPFx demo 03. Okay, I'll use the storage account, same, no configurations, whatever is there you can use, locations, and I'll use my subscription. So I'll use the RG-SPFx demo 03. It's the same name. Yeah. So I'll just pin create. So it will create the blob storage for me. In that, I will create a container. The container will be responsible when I just run the SPFx command while building the package. So it will take all the static files, bundle file that is JS, CSS, and put into the container file that we can see. Then we need to do the configurations of the CDN profile, what we are going to map with the blob storage within our solution. And then once we deploy our solutions and run it, we can see the data is coming from the Azure CDN instead of the O365 CDN, what we have configured now. Okay, so let it create. So I'll show what the configurations we need to do for that. First of all, we need to make it this as a false, because this is responsible to put into the O365 CDN. This command is not required. Client sides assets. After that, we have one folder, deploy storage, deploy Azure storage. So there we need to provide the storage name, but I created the demo as SPFx demo 03. This is my container name. Whatever I will create, I can give here. An access key will be the blob storage access key. So those three informations need to provide here. After that, we have a write manifest file. Here we'll provide the CDN profile path. So what we are going to create now. So this is the only things, and just after that, one more things need to add here. One command, I'll showcase that one. So let me go and check it now. Yeah, so that is created. So let me open SPFx demo 3. This is my blob storage. So this, let me go to the blob and create the container. So here I'll just create the SPFx demo container. SPFx demo container. I just access click the anonymous now, not using any authentications. So now if I go here on the key section, so it's give me those things. What is my storage account name? So this is my, I'll just take it storage account name, place it here, and do that deploy Azure storage things. So I'm going to replace this one. Yep. So this is my storage. Now I need the container. So my container name is, I'll go to the overview, what I created here, going to the blob storage. SPFx demo container. You can see in this container currently nothing is there. So once we run, those files should come here. So I'll just change the container here. I need the access key. So access key you'll get from the blob. So guys, all these activities are one-time activity only. Once you are aware and you just do, it's quite simple also. It's not required again and again when we are working on the controls and using those ones. So these are the quite common things: account name, container, and the key. Now after that, let me save it. All these things. Don't save. Write manifest. This path need to create it. So for this path, I need to enable the CDN public profile. So how to enable it? Let me go there. I'll just click on the create resource. I type the CDN. So once I type the CDN, it will give the options here. Let's select the first one, that is the CDN. Click on the create. CDNs come for a cost, so it's not free. So just if you are suggesting to any customer, we need to showcase those costings also. So SPFx, I just type the CDN SPFx demo 03. We'll just create, okay, use the old one. So what I used here, RG SPFx demo 03, what I used. So resource locations coming that one, locations I use. I'm going to create the endpoint. So this is important. This will create an endpoint for me. We'll use CDN SPFx demo. SPFx 03. Okay. So let it resolve. Okay. So here the origin type. So what we are going to map with this endpoint. So we are going to map the storage. So what is my original host name? So original host name, what the blob storage we created, that endpoint we need to map it here. So SPFx demo 3, this is the my endpoint where my container exists. Okay, I just click on create. So it's creating the CDN profile for me. And this CDN profile now I have mapped with my blob storage. So let it create. Okay, in the meantime, I'll do one more settings what was required here. So this is the command, the feature deployment. This we need to edit there. We'll go to the package solution here. That's it. Now only things is remaining. We need to use the CDN. Let it complete. I'll take the container name in the meantime. It is also required. The blob storage. The container name we have. Okay. SPFx demo container. Correct. So what the path we need to provide here, CDN is just mapped with our blob storage, not with a container. Here we'll provide the CDN/container name. Container name, let me take it from here. Here. This is my container name. I move to the manifest file. Okay. We'll provide the CDN path. It's taking time. Shouldn't take more time. Okay, done. So the CDN, I on this profile. This is my endpoint for the CDN. You can see this is my CDN endpoint, and this is my blob storage endpoint. CDN endpoint I need, just mapped with the blob storage. I'll provide it here, and this is my container name. So these are the settings only we need to do here. I will save and move to this command again. I just use the clean the screen, clean. So it will clean the old solution. After that, gulp build. So these are the quite frequent commands: gulp clean, gulp build, gulp bundle --ship, gulp package --solution --ship. So these are the 4 commands we are frequently going to use when we are working with SPFx. So gulp bundle --ship. So the last is gulp package --solution. Gulp package --solution --ship. Okay, done. So what the changes we did and provide those things. So after that, we'll take this app file and put into our catalog. So let me move to the catalog folder. This is my catalog folder. I clicked on upload. So we can change the versions also. Here I'm not changing the version, just putting the same versions. But ideally, when we are working on the actual projects, we need to change the version for if we are deploying the SPFx multiple times into the catalog. So it's easy to track. We'll showcase that one in the next webinar. How to do. I just selected that one. Now you can see, now it's earlier it was first time it was pointing the local host, then pointing the SharePoint online. Now it's pointing to my Azure blob storage container. CDN profile is there. I'll just deploy. Select and check in. Okay. So we are ready here. So I'll go there and close it and open it again the cognito mode and add this control. So I just log in with my credential. Microsoft.com. Okay. And the password. I'm going to delete that one. So I'm going to add. Okay. What is the problem? Okay, so I didn't trust it. Okay, 1 minute. We'll see where the data is coming here. List also. Oh no. I'm going to add my control what I created. See, at least you can see here. So now it's changed from the O365 to the Azure CDN. So that error, we'll see why this error is coming. So now all the files is coming. Oh, sorry. So I know why the error is coming here. So those files is not moved to that particular section. So if I go there, so my blob storage, it's not finding those files, correct? See, now there's a nothing exists here. Only the path is showing the red color because we have put into the SharePoint framework. So how those files come? So that was there. Let me go again here and show you those things what we missed. So let me use the gulp clean. There is a one more command, the gulp Azure deploy solution. Gulp build. I'll show that command. Yep, this is the CDN path. Those commands, let me go up here. I have. So this is the command. So this command is responsible. It will push all the static content into the container or what the blob storage container we created. Deploy as your storage. So let me go there. Okay. Go. Bundle -- ship. So after bundle, we need to run that command. So it's going to finish. It's like a gulp deploy -Azure -storage. So once this command will execute it, we can see those files will be present in our CDN path here. I could refresh there only. So you can see here, this is the container what I create, SPFx demo container. Now all those files came here. So this file is now going to refer in our SPFx control. Package -solution. Shit. So these are the 2-3 common errors I just showcase usually the developer does once they run the SPFx commands, and that we need to take care. So again, I'm moving to this section, app catalog. Just put it there. Just deploy and put the check-in, advanced check-in. Click OK. Okay, I'll go to my incognito mode here. Deploy the old error one. Deploy this one. So delete it. Click on here. So now you can see this file is coming, and those files at the bottom, which is in a black color, it's pointing to the CDN, what we created the CDN profile and coming from the Azure, not from the O365 CDN profile. Okay, so this is the way like how we can configure the CDN. So this was the basic things what we used here, how to set up the environment for the production machines and for our local deployment point of view. Okay, so let's see. And those files also we can check here. Okay, guys, when this webinar will take it till here. A lot of things is pending for this webinar. So the pending thing is like how to provisions what we discuss about the assets, like the list, content type, and site column using the SPFx, and what customizations we can use using the SPFx. So those things is pending. I have a hard stop for 7 o'clock. I have some work we need to leave. So just recap quickly what we did. We just gone through the SPFx journey and just understand why SPFx is required. Whatever we did till now using the form-based solution, most of the things are like in all activities really feasible using the SPFx. Even we are talking about the branding, any type of customizations. not really within the SPFx. We can consume the web API, and then API can behave on based on SPFx, and we can enable the authentications between that also. And the basic, and after that, we saw how the we can configure the catalog within the site collections. And the last one, there are different ways to configure the CDN, which is responsible to place the static file, that is the JS, CS, or the images. So those type of file we can place those CDN, and how we can use into the other environment, those things. So that's all in this webinar from my side. So any questions you have, I'll take within next 5 minutes. Or otherwise, we'll wind up this webinar. And next week, same time, we have a webinar. We'll take it there for further more deepest things. I'll request you all, please join the next upcoming webinars. There, you will get more insights on that. So the basic agenda, the main agenda for the next webinar will be the provisioning of the assets, and I'll just demonstrate how we can create the React component and we can integrate with SPFx. And for this, all recordings and the documentations and the PPT, I will upload and share that path into the C# corner. You can just log in and join the C# corner. There you will get all the details, and we'll forward all those details to the WhatsApp groups also. Okay. Thanks for your times and joining this webinar. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Manoj.